Hey everyone, how's it going? It is Leah here, and I'm excited because I think it's been like a month since I've been able to sit down and actually do a reading for the channel. So it's really exciting, but I got guidance from like a couple of readings that I received that kept saying that like you need to get back to your tarot channel, you need to get back to your YouTube channel, you need to get back to that. So I'm making time to be here. So thank you all so much who are watching. I know that it takes time for a channel to grow, so I'm willing to just kind of continue to be here. And if you can share it, if you can share the video, if you can make sure that you like it and make sure that you subscribe, then that'll be great. That absolutely helps me have the channel grow. And the more people that I can help, the better that it is, and that I feel. So jumping back into doing the readings, I thought about it and felt like just doing a reading for the week coming up from like today until like next Tuesday, so kind of a week's worth of time would be really good. And I am going to break it down per element so that way you can kind of like and I'll make sure that I timestamp it so that you can forward to see your particular element. So I'm talking about like air, which is Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. And then we've got fire, which is Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. Then we've got water, which is Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. And then we have earth, which is Taurus. Who am I forgetting? Taurus, Virgo, and somebody else. I'm forgetting the other earth sign, but you get or no, I'm just still or Capricorn. Ha, my sister's a Capricorn. How could I forget that? So yeah, so I'll timestamp it per the element, so then that way you guys can see and just forward to your element when after this introduction part. So we're going to start with air signs because that's me, Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius, so we'll start with the air signs. Got this one piece of hair that just kind of wants to hang out in my face. And now I've made my hair look weird, but oh well, such is life. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and shuffle now and see what is the message for the air signs. And this is, so my readings are business focused, specifically for small business owners and entrepreneurs. So that's what we're focusing on in this channel. And maybe I'll do another channel at some point that's focusing more on like love readings and things like that. But there are so many places that you can kind of reach out for love readings. I really don't see a lot of like business focused readings. And so that's why I want to provide that service for us. Okay, so for my air signs, what is this week bringing? And I like to always think about the gift. What is the gift of this week? And I like to do a 3-card reading. So we'll do gift and we'll do like what we can do to help that gift along and what we want to be sure of that we don't do or that we pay attention to so that we don't hinder or block the gift of the week. Okay, so let's take a look and see. So for the air signs, so we have the issue, what's helping, and what's hindering. This is really interesting. So for the air signs, there's going to be an opportunity this week in our business for us to really push forward, and like how this card just calls it out, to have a lot of courage to really just like push through self-doubt, push through the uncertainties and the kind of do stuff even though there's some parts of it that are unknown, to kind of really like pull ourselves into that energy. And this is a major arcana card in this deck. So this is the Osho Zen deck. So this is the strength card in other decks. And so it's not just talking about, this isn't something that's like a small decision, like, oh, am I going to do this or that? This is like something that is really going to call on your inner reserves. And it's something that really has the opportunity to like propel you forward and like to kind of affect how you see the world. So it's going to feel that big, and it's going to require that much courage. It's going to require like, it's going to kind of, you'll be meeting some deep-seated fears, maybe things that you're not even aware of when kind of coming up to this opportunity. What is helping is compromise. What's helping is that that willingness to work, to kind of work with others, to kind of have the situation not be perfect. And that makes a lot of sense with the courage that this card is asking you to display, because there are going to be some things that you're not sure about. But this card is saying that like what's going to really help is you being able to be to be malleable, to be flexible, and to just kind of like work through the issues, and without really knowing um, that there's going to be a benefit or not, but just being willing to work through things and to work with people that you might not normally feel drawn to working with, right? Or feel like you want to work with. So like a lot of times as an entrepreneur or small business owner, we're used to doing things by ourselves, and we kind of like just like that's where our energy is. And so when you are required to like include somebody else in the decision making process, or wait for someone else's input, things like that, that becomes difficult to do. And it's really easy to kind of get into a petty energy of like not wanting to. And this card is asking you to not do that. It's saying like, hey, no, being open to compromise is a plus, it's positive. And what it's saying not to do is this card, a lot of times in most decks, this is a positive card. Like this is the, this is the world, it's not the world card. Actually, I don't, it's 19. So I can't really actually remember what it is and what the name, what the name of this card is in the traditional Rider-Waite system, tarot system. But in this particular deck, this card is speaking to, just kind of like allowing things to happen, and just kind of like almost like you're so in a Zen-like state that you really don't have to make steps. Like you don't have to actually like activate anything, or like apply any effort. So like it's saying that like that kind of energy just of just allowing things to happen to you is going to be a negative right now. Like it's really important for you to like actively involve yourself in this process, to not wait, because a lot of times when it's like something that requires a lot of courage, it's easy to kind of be like, well, I'm just going to kind of wait and let the answer come to me, and soon I'll know all the answers. And this is a situation where like you don't want to wait to know all the answers. You want to actually take initiative, like take proactive steps forward, allow yourself to fall into compromise, allow yourself to be courageous in taking action, and don't just kind of like wait for stuff to kind of like pan out. So I hope that is helpful, air signs. And again, air signs, that's are my fellow Aquarians, Sagittarians, and no, not Sagittarians, Libra, Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. Cool. Sagittarius is air sign. So let's go ahead to air signs. If we're in Sagittarius time right now, so we're in Sagittarius energy because our sun is in, the sun is in Sagittarius right now. Okay, so let's take a look and see what is the gift of this week for the fire signs. That's interesting. Same card popped out, but let's see. But it's kind of, I'm getting different messages with it. So let's see. Fire signs. And it is 8:55. Okay. The gifts. Helping. Hindering. So interesting. Like just so many great messages in the cards. So the gift of this week from Tuesday to next Tuesday-ish, is a completely new opportunity, a completely new path. Like the opportunity to step into something super new, right? Like that you just, you have no idea how it's going to pan out, and almost like a complete career change, or like a pivot, like, and in small business terms and like the startup world terms, like a pivot, like a complete pivot that just feels very exciting, but you have no sense really like of its success, or if it's, if it's worth it to do it or anything like that. You just feel like this draw to do it. There's been no vetting. There's no like, You know, there's no like, is this a great idea? And I know it's a great idea because I've done the research. It's just like, I'm just feeling like I need to go this way. So there's an opportunity for this. What is going to help you to move into this opportunity is actually considering your options. And the important thing about this card is that it's in the suit of wands, and the suit of wands is all about like how, like, what is moving us, what's making us feel passionate, what's making us feel like driven, right? And so that really matches this full energy, and especially this being a two. So this is the two of wands. Twos, so if you think numerologically, twos are at the beginning of the timeline. Like there's no certainty in a two. Like it's just like, you know, it's at the beginning, but there's no certainty in a two, but there's so much like opportunity and potential in a two. And especially looking at this card and how the hawk is there at the top, and basically this hawk is like looking down and kind of looking for its next prey, and is, you know, just like, and the hawk has no like no attachment to any prey that shows up. It's like, hey, if it's out there, I'm gonna take advantage of it. So what this is saying to me is that this feeling right here of like being like just wanting to do something new, like wanting to like pivot and wanting to like step out, like allow yourself to do that and allow yourself to consider different options. Don't make yourself have to feel like, you know, you choose one and you're attached to it. It's got to be that one. Like allow yourself to be like, hey, non-committal. Like it could, I can try this, and if it's not like lighting my fire, then I'll move on to this other thing. So this is a period where you can kind of consider a lot of different options, and you can feel okay in that. You know, you don't have to feel like there's going to be any detriment in doing that. And this kind of speaks to this next card too, in terms of what not to do. So a lot of times the integration card is a really positive card because this is a major arcana card. It's the 14 major arcana. It's the star card, and I think 14 is the star card in a lot of decks. So I should know that because that's the Aquarius card. But so it is usually when you're making decisions, especially like business decisions and things like that, you do try to think about like, how does this fit into the whole, and how does this like, you know, how is this going to work with everything else, and is this a well thought out decision, and you know, am I thinking and, you know, considering all of the other things and all the other options and things like that. So usually that's a good thing, but right now this energy that you're in, this is going to be a negative. This is going to pull you out of like that beautiful discovery phase that you're in, like when you get to be like you get to be the fool, you know, you get to be the person that can just like step off the cliff and know, just like with this like completely like non-based in reality like faith, know that you're gonna fly, right? It's like, it's very Sagittarian energy, you know, very much like, hey, I'm just gonna go with it, go out there on my adventure and just like rock the world, do it. Like to me, that's like very Sagittarian energy. So let it be light. Let it be light. Allow yourself to make the decisions. Allow yourself to just kind of go with it. Like don't have it be too deep. Don't have it have to be too integrated, too together, or any of that kind of stuff, right? So I hope that is helpful, fire signs. So, this is a side note. If you like my lipstick, I made it myself. So that's another thing that I do. I am a mixologist. I have Move Makeup, which is my sweat-proof all-natural cosmetics line. So, yeah, I just put on my lipstick because I made this lipstick a couple days ago. And I don't know if I'm going to make this on a regular basis. My foundations and my blushes and all of my loose powder I make on a regular basis. But my blushes and thing, or my lipsticks and lip glosses, I make those case by case kind of thing. So, and my lights went down. That's weird. Okay, so earth signs. Let's do earth signs next. So shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. I'm just checking out the time. Earth signs. Let's see what we have for you. What is the gift of this week? My deck wanted to be reshuffled. Okay, what's helping? What is hindering? Okay, so Earth signs, you have the opportunity to create some serious structure in your business and in your business endeavors this week. You have the opportunity to kind of like reach into them and stabilize. Um, it's it I almost has a feeling I'm getting the impression or the feeling that this is a very needed thing and it's been long needed and that like there is the opportunity for you to take hold of to take hold of the reins and like pull in some security and like I keep saying like really solidify your base and your foundation and create some structure and create some like systems and things like that. And it really matches the Tower card, which is what's helping the situation. Usually the Tower card is like a traumatic an event that feels traumatic in the moment. It's an event that where you just like it just feels like the rug has been pulled from underneath you and you just have fallen on your ass and you're just like, how in the heck did this happen? But oftentimes the tower events happen because we've been ignoring the internal cues and the universal cues about like the steps that we need to take. And so the universe just comes in and said, you know what? You're like you keep going down this road that's not good for you. So I'm just gonna come in and I'm just gonna wreck everything. I'm gonna burn the tower, burn it down. You're gonna have to jump out, and you're thinking that you're gonna jump to your death, but actually you're gonna jump, and I'm gonna get you to the place that you actually really need to be because you just don't need to be in that tower anymore. So if you have experienced a difficult situation with things, or if you're feeling like you can preempt this, you can actually head this off because you can go ahead and step into this energy and start creating that structure and stuff now. But if like energetically you're kind of already past that point and you're already at the tower point, know that this traumatic kind of like things falling apart type of energy is purposeful because it's giving you the opportunity. The gift is that it's giving you the opportunity to create the structure. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to let go. You don't want to just be like, oh, just everything's gonna work itself out and I don't have to like try and I'm just gonna just wait for things to just pan out. Like that is not the thing to do. The letting go card usually speaks to like, yeah, that the shoe is gonna drop. That the pedal that drop is going to drop into the water. It's going to happen. So why rush it, right? Why stress over it? Just let it go. That's when it's something to do. But when this is something not to do, then you don't want to let that happen. You don't want to just be like, oh, que será, será, I'll just let it happen. You want to be proactive. You want to be preemptive. You want to employ this type of structure. Like I am in charge. I see what's happening. I'm taking action. I'm taking interest. I'm taking stock. Like I am like engaged. So you want to be engaged as opposed to free flowing. So I think that's a great way to say like be engaged instead of free flowing. So I hope that is helpful. I believe that was for our earth signs. Our last sign or our last element is water. So let's look at our water babies. Let's see what's going on with the water babies. I have a Cancer rising, so I do have that water energy that flows through me pretty deep. So let's see what's going on for the water babies. And that is Cancer, Cancer, Pisces, and why do I forget? Let's see. Cancer, Pisces, and another sign. Scorpio. So let's see. Oh. You know what, guys? I'm gonna reshuffle because it was the cards that came up, the very last set of cards that came up for the other for the earth signs, and I want to get a really clear reading. Not to say that that would not have been a clear reading, but I just want to get a super clear one with messages that are all its own. though the transformation card did pop out specifically for the water signs. So let's take a look. Boom, boom, and boom. Okay, so water signs. Especially with the other cards that came out, the card that pops up for you is the laziness card, which in certain decks is the wish fulfillment card, but in this deck really speaks to um, an opportunity to really get your needs met, really, right? Hopefully that makes sense. So again, this is a business focus, so for entrepreneurs, small business owners, this is a reading for us. And so there's the opportunity here in this week for you to actually see where you have been just kind of like making do with things because things are pretty okay, and where there is the opportunity to actually reach for and ask for and expect more. So that's the gift in this week, because like, and when you're in this kind of like Nine of Cups energy or Nine of Water energy, those are pretty good. Like they're actually pretty good. However, there's a certain level of complacency that settles in so that you don't strive for the actual perfection. And so you're like you almost have achieved like nirvana, for for instance, but you're not quite there. So you're still actually, so you're almost, because you're not quite there, you're almost like in the exact opposite place. Like you're in a complete ego space as opposed to being in the space where like you really actually are in this zen place of like, wow, just everything is the way it's supposed to be, and I'm like totally happy. So the what's helping, this is really good. So, and these are two water cards, right? And it's the water, it's the reading for water. The understanding card is saying to me that you are just beginning to see glimpses of what things could be. And it's almost as though you didn't even think that those things were possible. Like you didn't even think that it was possible for you to have those things, for those things to be available for you, for those opportunities to be available, for you to feel a certain way. Like you didn't even think it was possible. And you're starting to see glimpses of the fact that it is possible for you to actually attain an even higher level of a fulfillment, right? And so you don't have to be like satisfied with like kind of like the surface fulfillment, you know, like this kind of, it's almost like I almost kind of see it in a way of like, a business that takes on a more spiritual um aspect, or more spiritual feeling, right? Like it was good as it was and it was fine. It was like, maybe, okay, this is an example. Maybe you are a jewelry maker and it was like, hey, like people are love your jewelry and they're really like, connecting with it and it feels good. And you're like, okay, yeah, I'm making good money. This is great. I'm liking it. It's awesome. But you're starting to kind of awaken on your spiritual path and you're starting to realize like, like I really want to tell people about the magical properties of like the stone that I'm using, because I'm realizing that like when I use it like that, it's like even more impactful and I feel better, and I know that I use the color green for this reason, and I want to talk to people about that, but like, is that a thing? And so you're starting to see that it's a thing and it's something that you can share and it's actually something you can do. So that is a positive. Allow yourself to move through that and into that. And this is at the beginning stages. If you look at this bird here, it's just now realizing that that cage is no longer closed, that all it has to do is just kind of like move its wings in a way and kind of like ease itself out of the cage. And it's connected with a tribe of people, a new tribe of people that are saying like, hey, yeah, totally, this is a thing. Come on, like, come on over here with us and we'll tell you more. So like, you probably are, if you haven't already, you can find a community that can help you to further develop that. So just allow yourself to kind of move with that energy and just let it flow with it. And what you don't want to do is like get caught up in like too much of the practicality of it, because this is the prince of pentacles, rainbows in this deck. So you don't want to get bogged down in the practicality of like, well, how do I do that? And what do I do? And what are the steps? And da 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 da. Allow yourself to be in the emotional space of like, kind of like this emotional awakening, and don't get bogged down in the planning part of it, because that's going to pan itself out. Like what you need to be feeling and getting inspired by right now is the feeling of it, like the awakening of like, you can go from this 9 energy into the 10 energy, like through this process of like breaking, it's not even like a breaking through, but just like easing yourself through the bar cells that you kind of thought were there but that aren't there anymore. So I hope that's really helpful for the water signs as well. And that's it. That's pretty good. That's about maybe 6 or 7 minutes per side, I think. So hopefully that has been useful for you. I really appreciate all of the support that this channel has gotten, even just in its infancy, even just in the 20 or so odd subscribers that I have so far. So thank you so much. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Of course, I do offer tarot readings 101. I will put a link to that in the comments, and very soon I'm going to start like a what do you call it? Like a community. I have my communities online already on Facebook, but I think I'm going to do like a Patreon or something like that. So you'll be seeing information about that soon, one of these days. But in the meantime, I'll be doing another reading soon. And if you make sure that you subscribe and you hit the little bell notification button, you'll get a notification when my next reading is up. Okay, thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day. Bye bye.